Konnichiwa, minasamá. Yes, another video here from your Nihon no Fudo-san Tanin Sensei. Yes, your Tokyo real estate man. Another video, and today we are moving from Tokyo to Kansai. And this, of course, is my Instagram, and I'm driving, or I was driving in the streets of Shibuya with my famous Volkswagen bus. But today we are leaving Shibuya and we are going to the land of Otsu. Okay. And you're probably wondering, and I must always remember to share my tab. Otsu is a really interesting market. We had a customer who recently bought a really nice place here. And then I started to learn a lot about Otsu because this customer had gone through a transaction. And what I really like so much about Otsu, which is actually, you see here to the left, you have Kyoto or Kyoto Fu, okay, or Kyoto, and this is Shiga-ken right here. And it has really great access, both driving ways. You see there's two routes. This is Route 161 into Kyoto, and this, of course, is the Kokudo or the freeway in. And it also has really great train routes. And about a 15-minute train ride here from Otsu Station here to Kyoto Station. And if you've been to Kyoto before, and if you're like a person like me who likes Kyoto, it's very convenient to go to, but it can be a very, very busy place full of tourists. So if you like that sort of like ancient Japanese vibe, but you don't always want to be around all the tourists, I think like Otsu is a neat place. And of course, Otsu has a really great, because this is Biwako, it has a really cool lake vibe. And I thought we could come here and look at some pictures here. And I must not forget to share my tab. And here you are. You see beautiful sort of temple structures right against the lake, right there. Yeah, I've been here to Shiga one time to the hotel, and I was hanging out with the hotel staff, and yeah, they speak what's known as a Shiga Ben, and I was thinking, I have no idea, and I speak a Tokyo Ben, so I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. This is the streetcars here in Central Otsu, and I'm a real train head, so I just love the look of these sort of streetcars and everything like that. Just love it. Beautiful. You can see here again, there's that sort of beautiful lake culture here in Otsu, which is Biwa ko zoi, 言われる日本語で. So on the shores of Lake Biwa. Very, very beautiful. There you can see another one right there. So we're going to look at a property here today. And as we move here into the detailed real estate, and I must not forget, I'm talking to myself to share my tab. Um, the interesting thing about the Shiga market that I like here, and I will sort of uh, move up. Um, it's actually a really good market, really, really interesting marketplace. And I've got the filter here looking for bargains for people, and I have the filter here maximized out at 2,500 mon. But when you move this filter up to about the 1 million mark, you'll see that even there's a very, very low supply of properties, and there's a lot of properties that are in sort of these upper bands. Although I don't really see too much in the way of red. If you come here and then we push on to this yellow one, this should get us into something. You do see like samples in the marketplace of 7,000 mon. Okay, so it's really like an even here. What do we have here? There's this one is basically 500,000 or gosen mon. So there's not much supply here. There's not much supply here at all. There's, I guess, a supply of of definitely of the sort of blue stock, which is the lowest strata. But let's move it back to the lower stratus, and then we can focus in on this sort of one property that I had looked at here, which is really in sort of the downtown area of Otsu. And yeah, there it is right here. And the property that we're going to look at here today is 890 mon in a machiya. And I just like the look of it. There's not many interior shots of this property, but I just liked the location of the unit in relation to the lake right here, and I thought it might be an interesting property that someone could live in X months a year and easily rent out. Let's say if you were in it 3 or 4 months a year in the months that you liked, and then you could rent it. I think, given its location to Kyoto, its location to the lakefront here, and all the lakefront activities, I just thought it'd be attractive, and I thought we could look at it. And I will then pop on over, and I must not forget to share my tab. Sorry, everybody. I've just made a bunch of videos and I've forgotten to share my tab. So we have to go here to the top, and then we can see. And I will actually move this page over to English, so it's easily. There's some interesting things in here that you can see here in the listing. We see the listing is priced at 8,900 mon, and there's no really good interior shots indicated here in the listing at all. But we can imagine that basically everything needs to be done here. But I think you could do a lot of work on a unit like this. You could do it. It specifies the details of this house. See, I like to look how clean it is outside. I don't even think it needs any exterior work. And my guess is even the interior is likely not all that bad. It's just well taken care of. And you can see here likely to have a southern exposure, which I like. So it's in a captured street, and it's was built in 1927, and it is known as, I guess, Amachia. But you see right back here looks to be a hotel room. So yeah, I like it, and I like its proximity to the station right there, and its proximity to the lake, and its convenience to the downtown lifestyle. So there is no parking in this one house, but I've sort of adjusted my ideas of parking because what happened? I live in Tokyo for so long, and then parking is such a tough commodity to get. But I think in places like Otsu, you could rent a parking spot probably for 4 or 5,000 yen a month and have an e-bike, for example, in your home here, and that would almost access everything to you. I thought we could look here at the map as well, and let me back out a little bit. And you'll see, I have marked the supermarket, the supermarkets that are close to this. I guess I have to move in a little bit. I thought that it marked the super here. Should if I put that in there, it should bring the supermarket up there, right there. And I think it said it was an 8-minute walk away from the space. You can see the spaces like proximity to the lake and to these lake parks is really neat. And the station right here is right here and right here. This station's even name is called Biwa Ko Hamamatsu. So yeah, that's really great locations here for convenience. And I thought we could come down here into. We're not going to be able to get into where the property is because it is a captured one, but you can see like its proximity to. Oh, looks like they're probably a real estate a real estate agency right there. What do we have? Like a shodo shodo kenbyo, and I guess yeah, this is going to be like a veterinarian's office. Excuse me. Here we go. But you can have a little idea of the. It is in like Biwa, or it's in Otsu right here, but it's totally like a nice little urban oasis that's sort of near the lake, and you can see there's a lot of these kind of older homes and stuff like this here in the area as we just meander down this street right here. And there's a station. There would be the station, I guess, or this would be like what's going to be the streetcar, I guess, the street coming into the streetcar street here in Otsu, where we saw the pictures earlier. Yeah, I think it's a nice little town. And then again, what I mentioned about it earlier that I really like about it, so I remember to share my tab. Please say it in the comments, Bruce. Remember to share your tab. You'll see that I guess the location of the house is right here, and it really easily accessible to get you into Kyoto. Whether you want to take the train in. What happens for me myself when I like a day of tourism and a day of like going to temples and stuff like that, I get really stressed out. And I've driven in Japan for many years. I get really stressed out when I'm driving in areas where I don't know. So I don't mind to take a train into like Kyoto Station here, which you'll see right there, Kyoto Station right here, and then to use taxis or bus or walking around all day, as not to put myself in a lot of stress because I get a lot of driving stress. Anyhow, um, back here to the we'll go back here. You see the location here is great. We can even drop you in here to like the lake park right there, and it'll still drop us right along the lake park right there, and you can see the lake, the sort of lakescape, and the nice. It's just an interesting lifestyle. You see some hotels here that were likely lightly constructed here in the no, it looks like those would be structures maybe built as much as into the 1990s and stuff like that. But there's definitely sort of a hotel. Oh yeah, these are this looks to be like a 1990s hotel, one and definitely 1980s sort of hotel, like hotel vibe here along the lake. And now you can imagine that there's still be a lot of demand for people to come down here and to enjoy coming here by the lake in Japan. Anyway, we'll move on back to the general map right there. You see the location right there, and this is going to connect you down here to Otsu Station as well. And we'll come down here and we'll look at some of the information that's key in the properties. You see that it's really located really well in relation to the station. Uh, it's also Otsu Station is an 18-minute walk away, which is great because Otsu Station though is not a Shinkansen station, but it is on the JR Tokaido main line. Okay, and the other things that were to note in this property is that uh, like all the sewage, water, and gas, city gas are hooked up down there. So this is not a propane. It's not a propane. It's natural gas. Okay, but as I say in the other videos, propane in Japan is like a totally industrial business, and delivering those propane tanks to people's houses and stuff like that is just a part of everyday commerce in Japan. Now, this is what's known as, it says right here, the date of construction of this building is unknown and requires large scale repairs. Yeah, it's going to need some work inside. We don't have the inside pictures to it, but we can imagine that probably the hot water systems need to be redone. I don't know how much large scale repairs need to be done on it, but to get the place, we know that it's positioned right now in the bottom of the marketplace for a reason, because it doesn't have enough of the finishings to raise it into a place where it has the most demand. And we see also that it doesn't have parking, and that is a plus or a minus. But if you can raise this house from this bottom end of the market with your sweat equity and your ability, you're going to be able to position it higher. And you'll also have a U-turn ability, because if you have a beautiful house, it'll always have liquidity, and you also have location on your side here as well. But we know that it cannot be rebuilt, which is another minus. Okay. However, I think it connects to that sort of Kyoto Machiya thing, but it's just in Otsu, so I think that's kind of okay as well. And I think it kind of doesn't matter on a because it is such a cheap price. As part of the property billing is, yeah, it's adjacent. So what happens with a Machiya, okay, when it's connected to the next building, okay, you can rebuild it from the inside, but you can't tear it down because it's got a shared wall, okay, and also you cannot do Airbnb in the Machiya because it's in a connected situation. Things you can learn about. Okay, it's called the 2K. 51 meters of internal space built in 1927. Its ownership, which is Shoryuken. Okay, it's in a residential area. It's not zoned commercial, so you can't really get the Airbnb license in this one. It's a Akia, which is a vacant house. Akia is not always just this little thing. There's sort of a English term for Akia right now, which means which means sort of this Japanese empty homes thing. But it also means just a vacant home. For example, there's no one right now living in this home, so it is technically vacant. Okay. One of the things that you could look at to know, and I have fired up a video on my channel here, and I cannot forget to share my tab. I did this video the other day about these sort of hot water systems. Okay, and likely This is what needs to be replaced in it. And I made a joke about it, about, the PEX is the way that you can easily do uh, your own sort of plumbing and stuff like this. So you need the ability to flex your packs. And then if you can replace like units like this one right here, this is these hot water systems. That's what you're doing to raise it. And we can imagine the kitchen is like that one in that one as well. It's an old kitchen. We can imagine that the I would imagine actually that the bath system. See, this is PEX right here, and you're going to need to flex, like I said, flex flex your pecs, okay, and then that's gonna make you money. that's that's the point of the video. So yeah, cool. That's probably one thing that needs to be done here in this house for sure. Anyway, I'm going to move the discussion a little bit here to if you're living in Japan and you're from the domestic you're working in Japan or you're working in Kyoto or Otsu or something like that, don't forget if your paperwork is in order, you can get one of the ways to get ahead in Japan as I move this away from this uh, is to get this sort of long-term financing, 1.84 35-year flat. Okay, first 5 years of the 35 flat right now are 0.84. If you want to get the flat 20, which is right down here, it's flat at 1.45% for 20 years, and the first 5 years of the flat 20 right now is 0.45%. You're almost getting money for free in some ways. Take advantage of these sort of programs if you're in Japan. Make no mistake about it. If you want to access sort of the mega banks, and this is, we can even try to bring this a trade. This is going to end up weird as this is the variable rate here. I'll try to make the page smaller so maybe it's easier to see. I'm not doing it very effectively. But this is Mizuho Bank or Mizuho Ginko, and this is the Hindo Kinri, which is the variable rate. And that's just 0.375%. That's pretty great. A lot of Japanese people who would buy an upper scale house would definitely use this. This is the 31 to 35 loan period for the flat rate, which is 1.8. It just mirrors basically the 35 flat, and this is the 10-year term, 1.4, which you'll see right here when you look. Basically, the mega banks are mimicking or copying, okay, the flat 35 or the flat 20. Okay, now just to look a little bit, if you did finance, this house, which was priced at 890 mon at the 35 flat, your payments uh, would be like I have to probably fix this. You probably need to put down 200 mon, which is basically $20,000 in the Japanese sense of financing, and your payments every month are going to be 22,000 yen or a Niman Nisen, and in total, your savings portion is going to be Ichiman Rokusen, and this is which is 16,000, and this is going to be your interest every month is 6,000 yen per month, so $2 per day. So the drag on living in a in this would be a total of perhaps I'm guessing about $100 a month. And yeah, we can look at. Uh, I sh- I should remember. Don't forget to share your tab. I think I forgot to share the. I think I forgot to share this payments tab right here, but this is kind of what I was talking about. Your payments every month would be this one here, uh, 22,000 yen per month. Anyhow, let's go here to the, and I cannot forget to share the tab. The total price of this house, if taken, would be 57,000 US dollars. Your monthly payments for your mortgage would be $141 a month. The drag on your property every month, we're gonna trouble, including property tax, I'm guessing would be $64 a month. You just can't beat this. The numbers work for you. If you're basically, when you can get this 35 flat and you can get a great house and stuff like that, it's in my view, and you're fairly young, you're not like in your 20s or 30s, it's in my view that you have financial freedom because you do your career is sloped toward very, very favorably toward you in Japan in your 20s and 30s and 40s. And when you get my age into the 50s, you got to have your own business going. It's just, it's just the way it works in Japan. So things will be sloped your way for the next, if you can make a move like this in your 20s, for the next 25 years, it'll really be sloped in your way. And given I came here to just to get a laugh. I came here to Penticton, British Columbia, which is a which is a just a kind of beach town here in British Columbia. And this is the really the bottom end of the market. And I think a house, no, this house is nicer than the state of that present house, but it's also, I guess right now it's about 10 times, 10 times the price to live in a beach town. I would think in the location in Otsu is a little bit better. This was what interested me actually. So the person who bought this house in 1995 bought it for 111. Then they sold it in June of 2000 for 98,000. And these people who bought it for 98,000, they've basically 7x'd it. Yeah, so yeah, they've done very, very well. They've done very, very well on it, right? This could basically be you. I'm not saying that that you're gonna 6x it here here in Otsu, but like we were to take the 98,000 the 98,000 and come over here to, I should say, come over to this one, this tab right here, and I can't forget to share it. Let's uh, let's look at the 98,000 is going to be this much in Japanese yen, right? And let's say that in 2000 that they had a average. Let's say they had uh, a 4% or yeah, four. Let's just guess that they had like a 4% mortgage. They had a mortgage payment of $350 a month. Okay, so they were living in Penticton for basically almost free. Okay, and not only that, I think there's one other thing that you can couple with it. When you make these kind of smart purchases where the price is low and you can sign into like the 35 flat where the interest cannot be, I'm going to say the word, you can't be screwed by the man, and the man is the banks. They can't up the rate on you. You're looking at a stable repayment regime. What happens is it really combines here with the savings calculator. So we can look at these people who bought this place in Penticton, and maybe I'm overestimating it. Let's say that they were able to save another $600 every month monthly, and they bought it in 2000. Okay, so that was 24 years ago. Let's see, and I've estimated a rate of return of 9% per annum. Okay, and we can calculate it, and they've ended up 6xing their house, and just by saving another 6,000 or $600 a month, they're walking away now with this house. They're going to sell their house for $650,000. They're going to have $1.3 million, likely more. uh, let's let's say that let's double this and say it was 1200, and then we can see that these people right now that because they bought the house at such a good rate are likely worth about $2 million right now. They can do anything they want. So when you get a house like this, okay, at a cheaper price, and you can, because your monthly payments are so low, and you can continue to save on the side, you basically have financial freedom in the next uh, 15 years of your life. Now, the other thing to think about, okay, is that I'm going to come back to this screen here as well. So right now, the people that are going to buy this house, let's add another six on it right there. Okay, they're going to have they're going to have a payment of $3,000 a month. Okay, they're going to have with at I guess the rate now is going to be at 5% right now in the Canadian marketplace at 5%. So they're going to have to scramble for 34 or 3,500 a month. Okay, which means because they have to scramble for 35 a month, okay, that means they can't even do this, okay? That means basically they're going to save all their money is going to real estate. So, and then over the next 20 years, while they own that place, okay, they're going to be able to amass $51,000. They have no freedom because all the money is going to the real estate sector. And that's the beauty of Japanese real estate is we have optionality. It's not real estate alone. It's optionality with your discipline. Like one of the things that served me really, really well in 30 years in Tokyo is that I'm a very disciplined person. It's a combination. So, but you can own your Japan life. Don't let your Japan life own you. That's kind of a theme of my channel I've had for many, many years. Anyhow, we'll come back to this house here. I just liked it. We know that there's going to be some sort of repairs that need to be done inside the house. However, if you are interested in real estate in Japan, you can always come here to my Instagram, the Tokyo Real Estate Man, right there. And I invite you to follow or DM me. Or another way of getting a hold of me is to come here to my new website, Tokyo Real Estate Man, and you're welcome to contact me and have a conversation about real estate in Japan. And there's a lot of other little secrets in the background that I can help you with about getting ahead in Japan. You can own your Japan life. I always see all these people talk about how they get depressed in Japan. Maybe that's because their Japanese life is starting to own them. Own your life. Don't let the man own you. Okay? If you're here in Penticton or you're coming into this North American over financialized market, you're basically letting the market own you. Own your Japan life. Own your life. Put prices on your side. Okay, right on. Another video. 本当にありがとう。皆様、いつもこのチャンネル、subscribe. Please subscribe. And まあ、いつも応援するとかコメントありがとうございます。失礼します。